Okay, baby. Oh, wait, one more thing, Nick. Sorry.
Just one more thing.
I'm going to get my Santa hat.
Oh, that's not.
What do you think of this? They
That's-
didn't have any. They didn't have any Santa hats, so I just found a red and white one.
Who's they?
Oh, the Christmas store.
The Christmas store. Okay, yeah.
But it came with hair, so I thought that was nice.
Yeah, that's a nice touch. It doesn't match your beard, but I guess, some
No.
people still dye, but just let the beard do their thing, don't they?
Yeah, I guess it's like when Santa was younger, he had red hair.
Yeah, I mean, it's plausible.
Yeah.
Maybe that's
I don't
why
know.
he dresses up in red.
Yeah, I mean, it was very cheap
Yeah,
from that online store in China that you had to look
I
all over for.
I love the joke, but I don't want to. Yeah, thank you. Don't want to look at it for the whole podcast, please. Thank you. Yeah, let's get some traditional floppy balls. Yeah, love it.
All right.
Oh, Merry Christmas, my friend.
It's Christmas?
Stupid.
Just a little Christmas
Stupid.
joke.
Just a little joke. Just signing up for the joke. I'm in my Christmas top as well.
Oh, you are.
I don't know if you can see.
Yeah, it's Brodolph oh, that's great. Brodolph.
The red-nosed gains, dear. We've gone different
Where'd you get
paths
that
this
from?
year, but I support each choice that we've made.
Where did you get that from?
It was from the internet.
Was that a gift?
It was from the internet. I actually got it to
I love that you
Casey.
bought that for yourself.
No, I actually got it for Casey, and I was about to say, weirdly, he's never worn it. So nice to finally get some use.
Maybe it's just the wrong size.
It's just the wrong size, yeah. That's what he said. Oh gosh, I feel like I've run a marathon. I am entering this podcast just happy to have participated. Your beard is attached to your pom pom, which is not a good start. But I have been down to the wire on this Christmas song, and I feel like even getting here, even turning up, is an accomplishment.
I honestly forgot that we would because I finished mine in probably April.
Yeah.
So haven't listened to it.
It was earlier than April,
holds
wasn't
up.
it? It was maybe February. You did it on Valentine's Day, right? Because you and Lauren weren't speaking.
Yeah, that's right. Did it March 14th, Valentine's Day.
I have been battling my computer all week. It has been very hot here. My computer would literally overload. And, this is probably the most difficult circumstances I've ever had to make a song in. So, look, I don't want to egg the pudding too much when we're just at the start of the show, but I'm literally to the minute before we started recording this pod, I have been working on it. So I'm going to yawn a few times, and it's not because you're boring. It's because I have been up late and working hard.
Well, that's good to know because I've got some really boring
Good.
stories for you.
Great.
And I'd love to just slide on.
Yeah.
in
Like
with
uncontested.
the,
I'll sit back and let you do your thing. This is great.
yeah, super boring stuff.
Yeah.
I do have there's a lot to get through.
Okay. Shall we just look? Do I need to do the theme song?
Just get that going right now.
Okay. And generally there's 1 or 2 seconds when we lead up to the ding. Welcome to Deep Ford, everybody. Thank you so much for being here on this very special Christmas podcast. It's the most wonderful time of the year, and we've made it to the special episode. Cheers, my friend. Cheers, Big Ears.
Cheers, Brodolph.
Cheers,
Brodolph
Hitler.
Hitler.
No. And I'm just glad that everyone listening is here with us as well. This is a podcast about things that matter from 2 people who also matter. Michael wanted it fresh this week, and I delivered. Sitting through the internet with me, my friend. It's Christmas time. He's in a Christmas outfit. Michael, say hi.
Ho ho, hello, my bro.
Love it. And my name is Nick. Hi. Hi, Nick. Hi. Lovely to be here. You got a shopping list. You got a naughty list, a nice list, a list of things to do. I'm not going to get in your way. I have done no preparation for this podcast, so the reins are yours.
The reins,
The sleigh
reindeer, Nick.
Yeah, we're all
Take every Christmas pun that you can get, please. This episode,
yes.
even if it's a stretch. Right. Let me just get my notes up. So, all right, let's just do this now because it's going to be useful to me.
Okay, great.
Later. I got you a present.
You did. It's sitting here.
Open it up.
Okay, I'm very excited. This was delivered earlier this week out of the blue, and the only
Yep.
forewarning I had was when you said, "What is your address?" And that was the only indication I had that something was coming my way. When you
Yep,
said,
and that
"I
was
want
not
to
long
deliver
ago
you
either.
something," yeah,
It was down to the wire.
I
But
cannot.
I'm
but
very
when-
excited for you to see this.
When this came through, I was genuinely shocked because it was Australia Post. I assumed that you were like buying something from New Zealand and sending it here, but it came within like 2 days of you asking me my address, which means you express posted this.
Yes,
That
it
must have been
wasn't cheap.
fucking expensive.
Yeah, but you know what? It was for the laugh. It's worth it.
I'm gonna have to
Not
go
that-
get
not that you'll
scissors.
laugh.
I'm
Not-
sorry. I'm gonna get scissors. I'll be back.
Okay, I'll just sing carols. Oh, Christmas. No, I'm not going to do that.
Box cutter, even better. Alrighty.
Oh,
Let's get into
gorgeous.
this shit. I even did that thing where I was like, I know that you have to write a declaration on the form and that you had to say what was inside it, and I have not looked at it. Like, I've been very studiously like avoiding even looking at the pieces of paper because I didn't want
good. That's good.
I didn't want even a clue
appreciate
about what was in there. Did you make your own box?
Yeah, I made that box. I made the box.
Wow.
Took a cardboard cutting.
There's a lot of
class.
things in this thing. Which one should I open first?
Whichever one, the
this one?
smallest one. Yeah, that
Okay.
one. Yep.
Okay. We've got a small plastic wrapped little. Oh,
Yes, baby.
Look what we have here.
Yeah, baby. New coasters.
New
New merch.
Well, coasters? Koozies?
Stubby holders.
Stubby holders? Wow.
Aren't they
look
great?
amazing.
I know they turned out so good.
That's incredible. I'm going to have to give one of these to Sean, I think, because this
Yeah,
is his
so
art.
I've given you two of each. One for Sean, but when you come to Melbourne, I've got more for you. But
Amazing.
it would just
Yeah, no, you don't need
racks
to ship all
up.
of
Yeah.
it, they look shit hot. They look great. Look at that.
they're good quality. They're a lot better quality than the last ones.
They're fantastic. Great
Yeah,
job.
baby. Yeah, you can even see Sean's, the background stuff, which I wasn't
Yeah.
sure that was going to.
That's
Come up,
printing.
but-
And so this, by process of elimination, these look like mugs.
You're on the money there, Nick.
I will. No way.
Yeah, baby.
That
Yeah.
is amazing.
How good's that?
Dude, they look fucking believable. The
Yeah,
Christmas
I know.
colors.
Lauren designed it.
That's amazing.
But aren't they great?
They are so good. Wow, you
Little
have
Christmas
outdone
mug.
yourself.
I know.
They
I've done
are
very well.
sick. Thank you so
I've got
much
one
for
for you.
shipping these over here. And
No, I needed to be done for the pod and the
well,
Christmas cheer, Nick.
Christmas cheer has arrived. Friends and family, I guess, pay attention to socials, follow us on Insta and everything for how you can get your hands on some of these, because these look incredible.
They're really good.
Amazing. Well done.
Shout out
Thank
to
you so much.
Vistaprint.
Thank you, Print. Vistaprint. Is that what you said?
Vistaprint.
Thank you, Vistaprint. And thank you, Lauren, for your incredible cut work. Thank you, Sean, for the artwork. And everyone else, keep your eyes peeled. They'll be around.
Yeah, give one of those bad boys to Sean, one of
Yeah.
each, and I've got one for your dad and stuff. So
Oh, lovely. Oh,
Yeah.
that's such a nice start to this.
Yeah.
I've always looked forward to this episode, and we're off to a banger.
now what else have I got for you on the menu?
Please.
Oh, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
you're grinning already. What's item number 2?
So this is not a gift for you, but you'll never believe what happened this week, Nick.
Tell me more. Oh,
Hello,
boy.
Nick. Say deep foot. Ha 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 ha. It's brilliant. Shush.
Wow.
It works.
So-
it came.
For those
I came.
listening at home, the dancing cactus has turned up. No,
Sure
the
has.
what is it called? The copy cactus. What?
It's called the dancing cactus.
Why?
You said it right.
Okay, yeah. So, any long-time listeners, i.e., listened to last episode, will remember the story of your your scammy bank charges and the fraudulent case you went through, that thing has turned up. Did you get that for free?
Well, I got the refund on the subscription.
Oh,
but I
that's right.
Still
but
paid...
the original payment had to go through.
Yes, but honestly, worth it. Worth it for... I would have paid the subscription. Honestly, this works so well. You know, Pepsi will leave it in like the hall, and Pepsi will start barking at something, and it will just imitate her, and then Pepsi will look around and just be like, "What the fuck are you doing?" Like making fun of me.
Where did that come from?
Don't copy me. But it sings "Happy Birthday." It's kind of that you can cycle through songs, but you can't choose a song. And one of the songs that it has is like a rendition of "Happy Birthday."
Yeah.
And honestly, it sounds like... I mean, because this is not very well made, but it's definitely made in China or somewhere. And the Happy Birthday version of this sounds like Chinese factory workers trying to sing Happy Birthday in English, and they've never done it before.
Okay,
it's like
you have to find it now. You have to play it for me.
There's like 20 songs.
I don't mind.
They're all awful.
I don't mind.
And you can't pick. No, I'm not doing that.
What do you mean you can't pick? You can still skip halfway through, or no? It plays the full length of the thing.
It's honestly very annoying to sit. I can't do it. Once I get drunk, I'll do it and send you a clip.
Okay. Well, what a twist ending to a saga from last week. How exciting.
I know.
Christmas is made. Like that. What else can you hope to get given? What else can you aspire to when you've already peaked?
Yeah, I mean,
the holidays are sorted.
Given a gift from you, actually. So
well, I've given you a gift of music, and you'll receive it later this episode.
Can I have an actual thing, though? Do you have a thing? I don't want that.
I'll burn it onto a CDR, and you can put it in your car.
Okay, I don't have a car.
You don't have a car?
Oh, we've got a car, but I don't have a car, but she's got it. But I use it.
Okay.
All right. Cool.
Thanks for clarifying.
All of that was relevant.
Uh-huh.
So I just wanted to pick your brain about this hot health insurance CEO killer.
Sure. Okay.
What's your thoughts on this guy? He's obviously a stud. I'm just a bit perplexed by the reaction from people, and I'm wondering what your thoughts are on it.
So what part of the reaction are you surprised about? The fact that people are horny for him? Or the fact that people are surprised that people are horny for him and don't care about the murder bit?
It's more that he's just become this hero, and people are so blatantly like making him a martyr. And he shot a guy in the street like point blank. And I get that there's this kind of manifesto that speaks to people. Like he's got a point as far as what his argument was. Yeah. Right. He's got a point.
Yeah.
But the idea that like you could just go and shoot someone cold blood in the street, and then everyone just kind of making a huge thing, like making memes immediately, like kind of reveling in the death of a person. And I get that, there's complications there, and he's probably a bad guy. I don't know. I don't even know if that's correct. But the glamorization of this guy, I'm not sure if it's just because he's hot. I'm sure that's a part of it, but I just don't get, I don't know. What are you seeing on that?
It is interesting. I do agree that it is, well, to me, it just strikes me as the encapsulation of the era we're living in, right? Like, I can't think of a more 2024 moment than literal murder of a businessman, a big, corporate rich medical businessman by a hot young dude results in memes and like canonization into the lore of famed assassins. I just can't think of anything more true to our current times. I think that it reflects so many different aspects of how American culture seems at the moment. You have the absolutely true, brutal lack of healthcare, right? The continual underfunding of public healthcare, the continual extortion of large healthcare insurers, which has resulted in just innumerable deaths, pain, hardship, financial suffering, and just general shittiness in the everyday life of Americans, right? So that's this undercurrent. Then you add into it financial inequality. You add the whole, 1% versus 99% undercurrent of American culture. You add into it the Trumpism, MAGA violent inclinations and the rhetoric about enemies, and the partisanship of America is more stark now than ever. So you have an us versus them mentality, and you stir all that into a pot with like social media, with disaffected youths, and you end up in a culture which looks at the superficiality of the killer and goes, yeah, but he was hot, wasn't he? Yeah, but he had a point, didn't he?
Yeah, so are you saying that the hotness feeds into the fact
100%.
if he wasn't hot,
100%.
people wouldn't be
because that's this is virality in a nutshell, right? Like, you can't premeditate how culture responds to things. Anytime you try and go viral, anytime you try and make a meme, it never works. But you can catch lightning in a bottle, and I mean, sort of this in my mind is connected with the Hawk Tour girl, right?
Yeah.
Who was like just there in the moment, stumbled into sort of sincere accidental fame. And then I don't know if you followed everything that happened since, but she's got into crypto. She launched a Hawk coin. People bought in because they followed her. She immediately sold all of her coin and made like $12 million or something. I don't remember the number.
She's done well.
And then everyone who bought in just watched as their coin and their investment disappeared. Like,
that's awesome.
It's this is just like America 2024, right? And my point being is that, how many murders, how many people die in shootings every day in the US? Like, countless. How many of those victims are of a profile that people think is even vaguely understandable, right? Like, as a victim, like, how many people have even a whiff of justified anger against those victims? Very, very few, right?
Right.
You get school shootings, you get, cop killings, you get all of these kind of other violences in the day-to-day life of America. But it's very rare that society which deals with that can look at it and say, I get it. He had back pain. Insurers are inflicting pain and suffering on fucking millions of people and taking all the profits for themselves.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that's ever a reason to justify murder, but that gets closer to that point where more people can see it, can sort of see it, right? So
yeah, I mean, it's kind of a punching up kind of almost thing.
Yeah.
People don't mind it when the rich guy loses.
Yeah.
But the baffling thing is, like, he's a rich guy, like, he's an Ivy League grad. He's come from a wealthy family that I'm pretty sure I read that have profited themselves off of health insurance.
Yeah, I don't know that detail. Can't comment.
So it's just a crazy thing. I mean, I'm seeing friends of mine post things on Instagram saying, just like with love hearts around this guy. And I'm just like, I'm just so confused by that response. I mean, what if the CEO of the health insurance company was black? I mean, it would be a completely different conversation.
Yeah.
Yep. It would be a racially motivated
or a
attack.
woman. Yep.
I mean, so I just so hypocritical, I think, sometimes.
Yeah, but I mean, look, when you look at the way that retroactively we've always had a taste for blood, right? Like, you can go back and you can look at, how did they just treat the Menendez brothers? The Menendez brothers got a fucking Netflix series and, cast as hot young murderers with understandable goals, right? Like, there is a story we like to be told about violence. It's the core of 80% of all television and film, right? So there is an appetite for it. We are watching all this through our screens. I think in reality, if half the people who have been sending those memes and, drawing those love hearts and, mocking up the grinder profile of Luigi, and put him, if you take those people that have been doing those memes next to the guy when it happens, they're going to scream, they're going to be appalled, they're going to shit themselves. The experience in real life when it's an actual human being is very different to the latest thing on my screen that I scroll past and I glance at and is not real, effectively.
Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, it would be interesting. I mean, taking a sympathetic view of the killer, it is a broken system, and I think there was an op-ed by one of the other CEOs that kind of acknowledged that. I mean, it's not the way to go about it. We say that, but then also, what if this does force some positive change? Maybe it is a good thing. But then if something good does come out of this, people will just start doing that, won't they? They'll just start killing people when they want to change something.
I mean, talk about normalization. Someone tried to assassinate President Trump this year.
Yeah.
Like this is just
Twice.
This is just life in day-to-day America. It's crazy, and you don't even think about it. I do wonder what change will come of it. I think if there is any good to come from death, that you would hope that it's positive change, and you would simultaneously hope that it shouldn't require the threat on their life for other companies to do better by people. But we know the craven nature of a lot of these corporations are so self-centered, and off the back of all of this shooting discussion were endless tales of suffering. Like, how many times did you read people saying, they'd approved my surgery, and then after the fact, I was charged $80,000 for something they'd already pre-approved because they changed their mind, or there were endless stories about it. So
yeah, true. I mean, it'd be a very, very positive change for the security companies of the CEOs. I think it's going to work out pretty well for them.
This is a good question to bring up. How good do you reckon personal security is, really? Like, surely that's a show, because it's more about having someone big standing around, walking you from car door to porch, this kind of thing, than it is actually preventing anything, right? Because I think we've seen, when it comes to like presidential assassination attempts or healthcare CEO murders, you just have to shoot a gun at them, right? Like, you can get away with that, and there's not much a bodyguard's going to be able to do. You can't see it coming and jump in front unless you're really fucking switched on and happen to be in the right. There's no like, you can't make your body get in the path of a moving bullet you see coming. Like,
no.
There's no reaction time.
If there's a guy trying to kill someone with karate chops, sure, the security will be pretty good with that. I imagine.
Get Bruce Lee on the case, right?
But as soon as you get a gun involved, it's just like, well,
good luck.
I don't really know.
It's like preventative, right? Or a deterrent, or
it looks cool too.
It looks cool, but also like pre-scouting a location, like what's our exits here, knowing that kind of stuff. I get that, but in the case that something's actually happening, what good are they actually going to do? Just be another body in the way.
Yeah. I'd love to have security at least once in my life, though. Wouldn't you love that?
In what kind of context? Like going through an airport, at a club? Like where?
At a club.
At a club.
But then I'd have to go to a club.
Yeah.
I'm just going into the club to walk out of it with security.
Okay. Wait, as in they're throwing you out, or as in they're like, you're just exiting?
They're escorting me into a car.
Okay, so they move the velvet rope to stop the line of people from going in. You get to exit the club, you walk into the limo, they close the door behind you, and then they stand there and salute as you drive off in the limo.
Yeah, the salute is extra, but I got the premium package.
Yeah. And how much bigger than you do you want them to be? Do you want your head to come up to their shoulder?
I want them to be wider than me, not
wider.
Broader.
Broader.
Yeah.
As in, you want to stand in front of them and you don't even like block them. Like everyone can see every part of them.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I want. And I want them to all be bald. They will be anyway, but I want them to all be bald.
Why are they always bald? I've never seen a
Stress,
security guard with
maybe
like
stress,
a
I don't know.
long, luscious like mullet.
No, it's too easy because you can pull on it, you see.
Oh, it's a security
pull on it.
risk, of course.
Pull a ponytail.
Yes, yeah. Gosh. You see, this is why you're so much more switched on than me.
Steven Seagal.
Yeah, Steven Seagal over in Russia a lot, isn't he?
Killing it, just mixing it up with all the dictators. Great.
Who would have seen that?
Just enjoying his twilight years, you know?
Amazing. Yeah, what was your first reaction when you saw the shooting thing? Were you, in the instant of it entering your brain, did you expect that there would be like, oh, I get why that happened, or was it confusion?
No, I didn't care that much. I just saw that it was a guy on the run.
Yeah.
And then it just kept, those news stories that you're like, I don't care about this.
Yeah,
But then
and
it just
it keeps,
keeps
like,
popping up and you're like,
recirculating.
oh, okay, this is now I have to read into it.
Yeah.
And then there was like, I just baffled when they put up that, he's shredded in that hiking photo.
Yeah.
And then they found him at McDonald's and I was like, well, that's weird.
Yeah, I guess
Why
if you're
is-
on the run, you can't go to like the CrossFit Club or whatever. You have to go to places they won't be looking for you.
Yeah. But then he had all of his stuff with him, like all the evidence.
There were a lot
Twitter
of-
was going nuts with this, Nick.
I'm
Let
sure
me
they
tell
were.
you. A lot of conspiracy theories, Nick.
I saw there
Twitter.
was a bag full of Monopoly money left in Central Park or something like that. And if that was either a fake prop that he'd made to leave in the thing just to fuck with people, that's funny.
I think it was.
If
I
it
think
was
yeah.
someone else, like a sympathizer who went out and like found the same bag and then bought it and dropped it in the park, that's also funny.
Yeah. There were some cool moves, like the bullets with the words on it.
Yeah.
Like in a movie, if a villain or a killer,
Yeah, when
did that,
Fassbender's
you'd be
like carving that into the bullet casing, you're like, yeah.
you're kind of like,
yeah.
it's kind of a bit cheap, but when someone actually does it in real life, you're like, oh, it's like a cheap like calling card.
Well, it's-
Like Monopoly money and bullets. Okay.
It's just nice to see young men applying themselves these days, putting a little effort in.
Getting out of the house.
Getting out of the house. Yeah. He can't be an incel, just trust me.
Well, apparently he couldn't fuck.
Yeah, well, the back pain.
Believe that.
Back pain.
He couldn't bone because of back pain. So maybe he was turning into an incel, but he's like, I have so
had
much
jock
power, but I
energy.
can't use it.
The
That's frustrating.
the video of the cops searching in Central Park was very funny. Did you see that?
No, I didn't.
So the NYPD, I think, is like the largest, basically like militia in America. It gets like $1.3 billion in funding a year or something crazy, like insanely kitted out with like all kinds of military vehicles and weapons and this kind of shit. And then there's a video of them searching for this guy in Central Park, and it's just three officers just sort of going for a slow walk, and they literally just like poke a bush and then just keep moving. And everyone's like,
love it.
this costs us $1.3 billion a year.
Yeah.
And it's just three guys going for a walk in the bushes.
Just every now and
They're
then,
not even
just
leaving
flicking
the
on a
park.
flashlight.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Oh, not there.
Well, it's December. People are checking out.
That's
know.
it. I mean,
the
murder at a more
holidays.
convenient time of year next time.
Yeah, murder in March. Great year for a murder.
Well, good luck to the guy. We'll see what the defense is, because it's going to be very interesting. And get
My
lots of
eyes
attention.
do my eyes kind of look like glassy? I wonder if it's just because of the sunlight.
You're just not used to looking at yourself at this angle. You actually you look remarkably rested, I have to say. Is your melatonin been working still?
Well, I've actually run out of that, but I have been sleeping really well lately. I think it's the clonidine. Did I tell you I was on clonidine?
No.
Which is like, it's used to wind people down who have ADHD.
Gotcha.
And it didn't work for ages. But then I started taking it regularly and at the same time.
Yeah.
And it worked very
That's the problem
quick.
with giving medication to someone with ADHD, is trying to get them to take medication.
Yeah, and it's like, yeah, I'm sleeping really well lately.
Oh,
So
that's
thanks
awesome.
for asking.
No, you look good. You look fresh. You look ready for the holidays.
Yeah, I was speaking to someone about booking a venue the other last week, and he's like a young guy who's very friendly and stuff. And then I left it, and I panicked a little bit. I felt like the conversation didn't end the way I wanted it to in terms of tone. Not badly, just like I feel like you needed like an ending.
Yeah.
And so I could have just left. That would have been fine. I don't think he was thinking about it as much as I was.
So the two of you are still in the same. You're standing in front of each other, or you've like gone different direct. Like you've gone away, and now you're going to come back.
We were there, and I was like, okay, thanks. And then I felt like the beat of it wasn't right.
Yeah.
So I just said, hey, you've got really nice skin. I don't know why I said that.
Yeah.
And then he said, so do you.
Oh, that's very nice.
Yeah. Yeah.
What a nice sort of two straight guys, or at least two questioning guys, two closeted guys hooking up in the alley afterwards. Kind of interaction that you don't often see these days.
Gorgeous.
10%.
You're
glowing. You're glowing.
Yeah.
Can I duck back just to this shooting thing one last time to say that you, in the last episode, were talking about watching snuff films and watching people die because it's something that you thought that you would learn from. Do you not think there's any correlation in your bloodthirsty need to see death with the sort of reactions that Americans have had to this shooting?
Well, I'm doing it for a completely different reason. And also, look, I don't care about seeing someone get shot in the back. I want to, I'm looking at
that's not something you can prepare for unless you had security.
Right. And it's also just, it's also just, it's kind of like a movie to a certain point. So it's not interesting.
Sure.
I'm not interested, I'm interested in
if you want me to watch your death, it better be interesting.
I want to see an electrocution. I want to see a pedestrian get,
No, I'd regret bringing
by
this
a
up
truck.
Again. Yeah. Okay.
Shout out! Oh, so who are your friends there that?
Oh yeah, John and Pat.
Talking smack about me.
They're people on Twitch that I watch, gaming people, and it had come up, and they have started listening to the pod. So shout outs to them. But they were horrified by John in particular, I think. But yeah.
Well, if they want more, to be honest, it's quite nice to be even just to be just to be noticed, Yeah, they were making fun of me. I was like,
I worry that this is exactly what your fear was about the shooting of the CEO, where it's like, oh, if they change their policies, then more people are going to start shooting. Now that you've had some positive feedback about your, snuff film opinions, you're going to start really kicking things up a notch in a way that I'm not comfortable with.
It's not going to be pretty,
oh,
but it's content, and I just want to be talked about.
Okay.
And I'm going to make it happen, Nick.
Okay.
Do you know how to get onto the dark web?
It was a 3D printed gun, right? Isn't that a thing that we know?
Oh, yeah, it was.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
God,
but seriously, how do you get into the dark web? Like, do you just
I think
Google
it's
dark web?
www.darkweb.com. It's more a site than it is anything special. Yeah.
Is it?
I don't know. I'm not.
I'll Google it.
Please don't Google how to get onto dark web. I think there are probably people watching those sort of search terms.
Is it illegal to be on the dark web?
Well, it's not illegal, but it will raise flags that you might not want raised. I think we've wrapped up that shooting thing. Did you have any next things on your list?
Just seen these UFOs in New Jersey.
No, I didn't see any.
Dude, there's an installation coming, I'm telling you.
UAPs or UFOs?
UAPs, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But I'm a bit old school,
You could get old school.
No, a lot of lights in the sky, a lot of lights in Minnesota, Wisconsin, everywhere. Heathrow Airport. The sightings are ramping up.
Is the fact that it's at the airport possibly indicative of them being, aircraft?
No. There was an orb. No, there was an orb, Nick. An orb on the ground on the tarmac.
Oh.
I'll send you the video. It was blue. Yeah, no, it wasn't. It was moving very quickly. But I just want to look. I know you think this is a bit silly. A lot of people think this is silly, but I just want to. I want to call it here on the podcast and say that within the next year or 10 years, there will be an announcement. I'm just giving myself. I think just
Within the
needing a
next
bit more
year or century, we will find out.
1 to 10 years. 1 to 10 years. There's going to be an announcement by the government, and they're going to say we are in contact with extraterrestrials, and that's going to be it. And no one will care probably, but I will care. I will quit my job probably.
Once you know for sure, you'll quit your job.
I think I'd probably quit my job. I think my life would radically change.
What do you think would happen? What would change?
I would have to rethink everything.
Also, why are there no Australian sightings? Why do we never see like UAPs Australia? You know, like they're not zipping over the Sydney Harbour Bridge or something.
Well, for one thing, Mr. Skeptic Pants.
No, I'm just jealous that everyone else seems to be having these opportunities to see things, and I don't see shit.
Yeah, well, Australia has like 1/10 of the population of the US. We're also less crazy than the US. We're also doing less drugs than the US.
Yeah.
So that explains a lot of it.
So you do think that it is mostly drug and crazy related?
Well, some of it is definitely that. Okay.
Okay.
And we don't want to get on the
like
news.
You've undercut your own point here.
I kind of did. Yeah, I tend to do that. But Australians, like British people as well, Britons, we don't want attention, I think, on the whole, and Americans do. You know, like civilians.
Do you think it's like an attitudinal thing where like Americans are striding down the street, chest up, eyes up, looking around themselves, like tackling the world, and Brits and Aussies are sort of like shuffling down, you know, head on, like down at the ground, you know, on our phones or like at the pavement. Don't look at me, you know, and they're missing all of the alien encounters around.
Yeah. Okay. Yep. Yeah, we're looking at this. We're looking at the ground too much, and Americans are looking at the sky.
Yeah,
but you know who else is looking at the sky?
True.
This guy. I'm always looking at the sky.
Yeah,
saw 2 satellites cross over each other last night.
Whoa,
blew my mind. Yeah, almost woke Lauren up, and then I thought,
the moment's gone.
It's not. Yeah, probably not going to care.
Oh well.
Anyway, keep your eyes on the skies, guys and girls.
Okay, very rhymey for a second there.
Yeah. Can I get out of the beer? Sorry.
Yeah, go for it.
Oh fuck!
Oh! That was like a pratfall.
Oh jeez. Content. Just gonna give this a quick broom, Nick. Just a real quick one. Soil everywhere, you see.
You soiled yourself.
Leave this all in,
okay? Speaking of American decision making, and look, I'm going to go out and call it idiocy. What do you know about the penny, Michael?
It's not very valuable.
Correct.
And you can use it for thoughts.
This is an article from the New York Times called "America Must Free Itself from the Tyranny of the Penny." So here is something kind of remarkable. I'm just going to read a little bit of this. It's a good article. It's in the chapter notes if you want to listen to it. So this author here, it's written by Katie Weaver, has recently learned about a logistical problem so stupendously stupid one cannot help but wondering if it's wise to continue to allow this nation to supervise the design of its own holiday postage stamps, let alone preside over the administration of an extensive interstate highway system or nuclear arsenal. It's the dumbest thing I ever heard. I've come to think of it as the perpetual penny paradox. It goes like this. Most pennies produced by the US Mint are given out as change, but never spent. This creates an incessant demand for new pennies to replace them, so that cash transactions that necessitate pennies, that's anything that ends with, you know, like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, any of those transactions need a penny in change, but because those replacement pennies are never spent, no one spends a penny, they need to be replaced with new pennies that are also not spent, and so they have to be replaced with new pennies and so on and so on. They keep minting pennies because no one uses the pennies that they mint. So a conservative estimate holds that there are 240 billion pennies lying around the United States, around $7.24 for every man, woman, and child there residing, enough to hand 2 pennies to every human born since the dawn of man. These are but a fraction of the several hundreds of billions of pennies issued since 1793, most of which have suffered a mysterious fate, sometimes described in government records as disappearance. As far as anyone knows, the American cent is the most produced coin in the history of civilization. Its portrait of Lincoln, the most reproduced piece of art on Earth. Although pennies are almost never used for their purpose, to make purchases, right now 1 out of every 2 circulating coins minted in the United States has a face value of 1 cent. But a majority of the ones that are not yet disappeared are, according to a 2022 report, sitting in consumers' coin jars in their homes. It is crucial that they remain there, because 5 years ago, Mint officials conceded that if even a modest portion of the dormant pennies were suddenly to return back into circulation, the resulting flowback would be logistically unmanageable. There would be so unbelievably many pennies that there would most likely not be enough room to contain them inside the government vaults. And moving them from place to place would be time-consuming, cumbersome, and costly. Just $100 worth of pennies weighs a touch over 55 pounds. That's 25 kilograms. And with every new penny minted, this problem becomes slightly more of a problem. So this is a nonsense math calculation that they have been ignoring for decades. This article goes on to explain how many times people have tried to stop making pennies, how, in fact, I'll just read this paragraph. So the necessity of abolishing the penny has been obvious to those in power for so long that the inability to accomplish it has transformed the coin into a symbol of deeper rot. 11 years ago, Barack Obama called the penny a good metaphor for some of the larger problems of the US government. It's very hard to get rid of things that don't work, he said, adding that eliminating the penny is something a president would need legislation for. When
That's
Robert...
what I was going to ask.
When
Can't you just say, all right, well, this is going to be unusable in 5 years or a year or whatever?
Yeah, I mean, the actual idea of removing it isn't that complex. It's like it's a symbol of like the freezing of the legislative functions of government, right? That it is so partisan and such a lockup in terms of American democratic society that even getting simple, obvious things done is impossible. So there's this guy here, Robert Waples, an economist at a university, who published an article in 2006 about how important it was to eliminate the penny. He received a personal note from Paul Volcker, the former chairman of the Federal Reserve. The note said, "Get it done and you will deserve the Nobel Prize." This is the chairman of the Federal Reserve who oversaw the annual ordering of billions of pennies from the mint. But anyway, this is a really interesting article if you enjoy this kind of, what would you call it, like Kafkaesque bureaucratic bullshit. It goes into the details about the cost of how much it takes to make a penny, about, how they get distributed and the businesses that profit from picking them up and moving them around to banks and things. But it's just, I find it really interesting as a snapshot of America today. Do you wish that you had, your 5-cent pieces still? Wait, you do have 5-cent pieces.
I've always hated coins. Even when there was no cashless, I hated coins.
Yeah.
Stupid. Like, why isn't everything just do you even use cash anymore?
No.
I
carry a couple of notes.
It's honestly been a year or so.
But yeah, no.
My parents came down last week and we went to the pub for dinner and they're cashless, and Dad went up to pay and was just like incensed by this cashless, like so angry. And I see a lot of people that age getting really angry about the cashless thing.
Yeah.
Which I do kind of get,
I mean, it is legal currency, but yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. When we were growing up, Dad always used to do this thing, and I'm sure he still does it now. It's like a little joke when he goes to the cashier at Coles or whatever. He'll go, "Is cash okay?" Like, because obviously cash is okay.
Yeah.
And it's quite funny to see that joke not working on a practical level anymore.
Yeah, because for some people the answer would be, no,
okay.
It's not okay. Sorry. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's funny.
So one of the most interesting aspects of this article, which I found kind of baffling that it needed explanation, was the description of how Canada removed its penny, right? So Canada got rid of the penny in 2013, right? It cost 1.6 cents to make every 1 cent coin. So it made it made a loss every time they printed one, right? It had become worthless. It was, overdue getting rid of. But here's the part that I find fascinating, that for an American audience, they had to include in the New York Times article. So they go to painstaking detail here to explain stuff that I think you will think is very obvious. Here's the most important detail to understand. Canada eliminated only the physical coin, not the mathematical concept of 1 cent. Payment by credit card, debit card, mobile phone, or checks, hilarious, any kind of non-cash transaction is calculated exactly as it was before a penny was abolished. If, after tax, the bill comes to, say, $20.11, a Canadian paying by credit card will be charged $20.11. A Canadian paying by cash can expect to pay $20.10. The final digit of cash transactions is rounded to the nearest 10 cents. Down to the nearest 5 cents. 1 and 2 down to 0. 3 and 4 up to 5 cents. 6 and 7 down to 5 cents. 8 and 9 up to 10 cents. I admit that the thought I might be asked to pay, say, $3.80 cash for something that, according to the laws of God and man, has been calculated to cost $3.79 is not only reflexively infuriating to me, but a potential source of permanent confusion.
I love the idea that God's weighing in on this.
I know. This paragraph goes on to explain how the Canadian government put up signs explaining when you have to round up and when you have to round down. I think you will agree, Michael, that to you and I, the concept of rounding is so fundamentally intrinsic in the way that we look at prices that the idea that it requires explanation is kind of baffling.
Yeah. I never got that, the 199 thing. Like, I honestly don't understand the psychology, or maybe it just doesn't work on me, but I never got it. Did you?
As in the idea of why would you price at $1.99?
Yeah, $2 to me sounds cheaper than $1.99 because there's less numbers.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I do understand the logic why they have done that, even if it doesn't apply to everyone. I think the idea there's a 1 at the front that makes it look cheaper, that seems valid to me. It is interesting that you hear 3 numbers in your brain and say, oh, that's more than one number, even if the one number is higher.
Yeah, like $9 is cheaper than $1.99 to
but I like the idea that it would infuriate this person if they had to pay 1 cent more than it cost, despite the fact that half the time everything will round down and you'll end up at a wash anyway.
Yeah.
But anyway, if you're interested in this kind of nuance, sort of a deep read from the New York Times, read the article because I think it's really, really interesting.
I think we're good. I don't think anyone's going to do that, Nick.
I don't know. Look, I reckon this is an Eddie article through and through. I reckon Eddie's already read this.
Okay. It's funny that you think, Eddie. Just, I got a bit of yarn just on the back of that. Oh,
can you
Casey?
hear that? That's Goose. Fart? That's Goose snoring.
Oh, it sounded like a fart.
Yeah, there was an enormous snore.
Should get that checked out. There's this lady. We have a few kooks around our neighborhood, and most of them are harmless. One of them in particular is definitely not. But this lady, she's around. Sometimes she's yelling in the street. All good. But the other day I was coming out of the store and got my AirPods in, and she's saying something to me. I'm like, she's waiting out the front, and I'm like, all right. And she says, can you give me some money for some smokes? And I was like, I don't have any cash on me, but if you want some food or something, like I'm feel a bit weird asking that because it kind of, she doesn't look super like downtrodden.
Yeah.
So it's kind of a risky question. I don't want to be patronizing, but I threw it out there, and she was like, yeah, can you buy me a drink? Can I get some drinks and some food? And I was like, okay. So we go back into the store. I've got my bag of stuff already.
What kind of store was this? Sorry, I missed it.
Just like a small food works kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was like, I'll just wait out the front, just go pick your stuff, and I'll just tap my card.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying this to be a hero. I'm really not. Although if you do think I am, that's fine. So I'm waiting out there, and I'm kid you not, she's there for 15 minutes just looking for stuff. And I'm working from home and I've just gone to pops down to the shops. 15 minutes she takes to find something.
Wow.
And I'm just curious at this point to see what she's going to pick.
Yeah.
And because there's all these, like, I'm interested in what she wants to eat. I'm also interested in how she's navigating this. Like, I don't want to get too much, or I don't know if she's thinking that, but like, it's an interesting, I'd be thinking about
She
that.
could be like kid in a candy store, like fucking shopping spree. This guy's said that he'll get me anything I want, like maybe
Right.
maybe she's not considering, I won't push my luck. Maybe she's like, fucking, yeah, Cash Daddy's here to pay for me.
Well, that's the thing. I'm like, what am I going to be up for here? I could be up for $80.
Yeah.
So after 15 minutes, she comes back with 4 Musashi protein shakes, which I'm like, okay.
Kind of an
I mean,
expensive drink, but yeah, good
They're
on
not
you.
cheap at the independent grocer down
No.
the road. Let me tell you, $6 a pop. But
Yeah.
what are you going to do?
Yeah.
And I was like, okay. I mean, I kind of laughed a little bit. Kind of a good choice because it's food and protein.
Yeah.
So it's
Fills
not
you
bad.
up. Yeah.
So then I go tap my card. I want to get out of there. No, thank you. Now that's fine. Don't need a thank you.
Was that all
but
she
I was
wanted?
like,
She just bought four drinks. That was the
maybe she just timed out. Maybe she got bored.
yeah.
But yeah, so I pay for the thing. No, thank you. But I'm like, I don't need a thank you in that situation. But I'm also kind of like, well, fuck you. Anyway,
Yeah.
cut to 2 days later. We're at the pub down the road, out the front, al fresco, out the front. And I'm with Lauren, and she comes up to me. She spotted me again, and she said, "Hey, can you get me a drink from inside?" And I was like, "Okay, now you think I'm some kind of chump." And I was like, "What do you want?" And she's like, "Coke." And I was like, "Okay, I'll go get your Coke." And as I'm going in there, she yells very loudly, "No ice!" And I was like, fuck this bitch, man. Like, okay, fine. So I asked the guy. They give it to me for free because they're like, this is for the lady at the front. So then I give her the Coke with no ice, go back and sit. She sits on the step of the bar to scull it.
Wow.
Then Lauren and I going back to our conversation. She comes back up to us
No.
at the end of the drink, and she said, she slams the glass on the table and she says, "There's a shard of ice in there." And it was like this tiny slither. And just storms off. This is the end of the story. So I'm like, this is hilarious.
Yeah.
This is hilarious.
Yeah.
A few hours later, I go back to the sort of go get some wine. And it's nighttime at this point, and she's across the road screaming about something. It's a quiet street. She spots me from across the road, quite a distance, maybe 50 meters. And she yells out, "Hey, thanks for the drink, faggot." So,
Oh no. Oh, that's so funny. That'll teach you for doing nice things, Michael. Although I will admit, the second time you didn't pay anything. So what did you really do? You just carried a glass of Coke to someone. But
I mean, I could have said no. I mean, what
I
the
would have
risk
definitely said no the second time. I was like,
the risk there is that she's going to join you.
this is a horrible thing to admit aloud. But I feel like this is a horrible thing, and I shouldn't say this. I feel like if I've given you something, tick the box next to my name, I've given you a thing, and now look for someone else who can help you. Don't go back to the well, Like there's millions of people, and not all of them are generous, and I'm certainly nowhere near as generous as you are. But I feel like if you've got 4 Musashis out of me already, that's $25. That's more than anyone would ever give you in terms of a coin and a hat or anything like that. Like, tick the box.
I agree, but sometimes when you get asked for money by someone who's down on their luck, and I say no, there's some because maybe I am a hero, but that has the potential to stay with me all day, and I will feel very bad.
Yeah, which is why you're a better person than me.
I am. I should go shoot a CEO or something, or a cape.
Bringing it back. Well, if you have enjoyed this, then thank you so much for listening. There are plenty more episodes back in that back feed. If you want to go, scroll down that list, pick one out. Pick last year's Christmas episode. There's, special moments uh, as Michael replaces the plant label on the pot that he knocks over. If you want to get in touch with us, you can send an email to deepfort@gmail.com. You can find us on Instagram. You can find us on Spotify, where you will find both our podcasts, and on the Deep Fort artist account, you'll find our Christmas songs. You can reach out to us and send in your questions, send in a voicemail, send in comments, and tell us about the pennies that you wish were removed from your life in a metaphorical sense.
You could have said penny for your thoughts there. Would have been...
Fuck!
You call yourself...
I was up late last night. I don't have any brain left.
The computer. Yeah, we get it.
Okay. Well, speaking of, I feel like we're there, Michael. I feel like we have, tap danced around this long enough. Let us get into the present opening section of the podcast. It is Christmas song season, year 6.
Doing so well, aren't we?
We've done very well.
We're still doing this.
I mean, podcast or songs or both.
Both. I mean, like the amount of effort that we put into this, like every year, it's kind of ridiculous. Like Lauren just watches me work on this song, and I can tell, like, she's supportive, but I can tell she's like, "What the fuck are you doing? Like, why? Why are you putting so much effort in?"
Yeah, Casey has shown zero interest. Like, not even like, how's it? What's it about this year? How's it coming along? Just polite and nods.
You know what you got to do?
Acceptance is what I'm looking for.
You got to just blast it on the speakers and say, "Oh, sorry, could you hear that?"
Yeah.
Just editing. Just wanted to hear it on the speakers.
Yeah. Just want to hear it big. This is a stadium anthem. I feel like we are getting better every year. Our first album, Volume 1, A Very Deep Thought Christmas, is on Spotify right now, the first 5 years. We're starting a new album today. This is the start of Volume 2. I'm very excited. And I think as the person who went first last year, I would love it if you would kick us off this year.
All right. Let's fucking do this. All right.
I'm so excited. I'm excited. I've got nerves, and I'm just like, like it's Christmas morning.
You are right to be excited, Nick. But so let me just set this up. Speaking of Christmas morning, so this is the context. It's called The Box.
Okay.
Christmas morning, the world's waking up.
Mm-hmm.
Something feels a little off.
Oh.
People are going about their day. They're checking their calendars. It's definitely December 25th. Yeah. But by golly, it does not feel like Christmas at all.
By golly.
By golly.
Good.
Thank you. Wait, no, this is serious, Nick. So no one's gotten any presents. There's no footprints in the snow in the Northern Hemisphere. There's no half-eaten cookies. Something is seriously off, my friend.
Wow. Golly.
All of a sudden on the television, breaking news. Santa is dead. And worse, suspected homicide, Nick.
It's weirdly thematic with the podcast episode we've already recorded.
Finished it in March. So that's the situation. Let's go investigate.
Okay.
Wait,
I love that this song has like a story introduction, like a bit of lore.
You need to know it.
My computer is just... You sent a photo?
I sent the album artwork. No, I sent the album artwork.
Oh my God. You sent album artwork. You did finish this in
song
March.
artwork.
Okay.
Song artwork.
So this, for the listeners at home, this says The Box, a Deep Thought investigation. Wow. Okay.
Pretty good, right?
That's amazing.
Yeah. Wait, I gotta get this line in because I thought of it before. Wait, Nick, before you go in there, I should tell you, it ain't pretty. I took off sunglasses when I rehearsed that.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, okay.
You didn't really think I was gonna miss the opportunity to wish you a Merry Christmas, did you?
Again from the top. Look beneath the pines, so they said. And all my years as a North Pole call, I've never seen the snow so red. It's a silent night, but the silence cold. The house of cards begins to fall. On the 12th day of Christmas, you gave to me a bleeding box on Christmas Eve.
You wouldn't rush to judgments without facts, would you? Did you? No, not you. You're smarter than that.
A commiseration, just a festive fascination. It's not proof of causation. Be out on good probation. Under interrogation, every manipulation. What's your motivation? Got no motivation. A commiseration, just a festive fascination. It's not proof of causation. Be out on good probation. Thought assassination, sophistication. What's your motivation? Got no motivation.
What?
Wish I could have lived like you
Shut
did.
up. The fuck you talking about?
Take it again from the top. Beneath the pine, so they say.
Come on over there. Who's in the bar? What's in the fucking bar? What's in the bar?
I told you my deepest, darkest secrets. I showed you exactly what people are capable of. And you trusted me, even though you knew you shouldn't.
Holy shit, Michael.
Yeah, baby.
Production. Every year, your production just gets better and better. Holy shit. That is such a fun ride that for someone who apparently doesn't like clubs seems very much club ready.
Not sure what genre it is, but
So is my understanding is this was an interrogation? We're going in there to question the person who killed Santa? Is that Is that the box we're talking about here?
Well, obviously, Nick, I don't want to say, but yes, that's pretty much it. But it is layered. I don't know if you've got your phone. Maybe zoom in a little bit on the image that I sent you before, the song artwork.
Yep.
Because that might be a clue as to who did it, and it was pretty obvious in the song, kind of.
Okay. So as I look,
so it's a bit of no spoilers, Nick.
No spoilers,
because it's a who done it,
Yeah, on the on the image there are Christmas baubles of Kevin Spacey with his eyes crossed out. So
could be related.
Could be related.
Not sure.
Okay.
But when I was thinking about this, you want to do a different genre every year.
Yeah, 100%.
And I'm like, what have we not done?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, an EDM banger. Great.
Yeah.
So little festive EDM banger there.
Amazing. Yeah. And a little bit of Law and Order theme in the middle. We'll see how we go uploading that to Spotify, but
All right, I've already checked that out. I've pitched it. I've fucked with it enough. There's a test you can do. Okay. You can upload it to YouTube.
Okay.
And see if they flag
see
it.
if it's flagged. Yeah, wow. I'm looking forward to re-listening to it because with all the voice modulation and the shifting, bits and pieces back and forth, I look forward to like really getting into it and diving into what they're saying and that sort of thing. But God, there was no modulation on the voice for that. It was just all natural. Oh wow.
Yeah.
And how did you get Kevin Spacey back to do it? Because I thought he's sort of a bit of a pariah.
He's very free at the moment, so he'll just taking anything on.
Surprisingly affordable.
No, I took those samples of Kevin. When he did those Christmas videos, they're all from those.
That's so fucking funny.
Yeah. There's also another. It's kind of I call it a kitchen sink arrangement. Where At one point I was
it feels like the file name is like German Master, and I totally buy that it's like one of those like it feels like a DJ set, like spinning different bits in, and like this would be fun. We'll mix this, and then like it totally plays like you nailed the genre.
Well, I didn't mean for you to see that. That's just the final because I finished this so long ago. I'm playing around with different masterings.
Sure,
That's how, different mastering techniques.
Yeah.
So that's how much time I had. There's also another, when you listen back to it, there's also another sample at the end from your childhood that I'm hoping you pick up on a re-listen.
Okay, I'm going to, please. Oh, so satisfying. It is opening a Christmas present, and you've delivered, and I loved it. Thank you so much. I hope you are proud of it, because you should be.
A lot of people saying instant classic.
Okay.
I've heard.
Yeah, not Kevin, but everyone else.
No, the voices in my head.
Yeah.
Because no one's heard it. But
yeah.
All right, let's.
Alrighty.
I'm ready for your song. You've gone through the trenches.
I have, not to belabor the point, my computer has really not liked making a multi-track, multi-layered, edited, processed song. This has been a battle. It has been a hot week, and I would literally start recording and my computer would shut down after 6 seconds of audio. It would say system overload. I have put ice packs on the thing. I have waited until night when it's cooler so that I can do it without the fans.
That's the funniest thing ever, dude.
Like having to do it at 11 p.m. And like last night I was working past midnight trying to get it all finished. Oh, so, I hope that it was that it delivers and it was worth the effort. But I'm very proud of having got something out this year against all the odds. So this is my song, Men of Trees. Fourscore and 7 years hath I lived here in the forest. Mine hands are calloused so, mine feet are lame and weary. Our Lord in heaven gives us grace and great resourcefulness. Pine grows in a valley, so thine season shalt be cheery. But I need naught but my soul's. I believe in our cause.
Oh, man. This is so good.
Long are the days and dark are the nights in the life of the men of trees. We hoist our axes tall and hew the trunk asunder. Strong is our gaze, yet stark is the sight, as the wood bends in the breeze, and lo, rejoice as the sapling falls with the sound of a distant thunderclap. But I don't need your applause. I believe in Santa Claus. But one foul day, as I stood there proud, the handle slipped and I fell to the ground. The men they called gathered family round, and they held my hand with their heads all bowed. And my youngest asked, as he mocked my brow, why choose this life? How is this allowed? And I said, I believe I brought joy, a prized green tree over toys.
That was so gorgeous.
Thank you.
That was really. I almost cried, honestly. I really
Wow.
did. The chorus melody is so nice. Oh my god! And then you bring it back in with the piano at the end.
Yeah.
With the vocal. Oh my god, that is the best song you've ever done, ever. that No, seriously. Like I don't know what I was expecting. I was kind of expecting that it was going to be half cooked because of your computer stuff. But fuck, man, that really blew me away.
Thank
That
you.
I like it was like moving.
Thank you.
I'm not
No,
joking.
I appreciate
I'm
that.
not-
That really, really means a lot to me because it has been a long, hard week's worth of, like, more than a week, but obviously it's been a particularly tough thing to get to the level that I wanted it to be and that I thought it deserved to be. And I'm glad that it worked.
I know what you mean now. That was it was a genuinely moving song. The melody in particular. You have this knack of writing earworm melodies that I will randomly at like a winter morning have a big gift, a big, like just randomly in my head. And then it's just like, and then it lasts for like 2 days. And that one right off the bat, I mean, this song is a shower, not a grower. Wait, it could be a grower as well, but it's a shower.
It shows and grows.
Shows and grows. But like it is, I could get what you mean when you say that you really wanted to give it its due diligence with the
To hit the level that it needed to be. Yeah.
Your vocals sound really crisp, by the way. That was the first thing I noticed.
Thank you.
And man, it's just like it's a really I don't know. I was really moved, but I'm not sure what it's about because I was too focused. I'm looking forward to
like reading lyrics and internalizing. It's very hard on a first listen to like grasp everything, but it is
absorb it.
It's the men who cut down Christmas trees. Basically, it's the story of the men who grow the trees. But I was aiming for and this actually was an idea I had a year ago. So you might remember that a year back I was like, I have 2 Christmas song ideas and I don't know which one to do. And I did Big Gifter first, but this one has been sitting there in a pocket the whole time, and I'm glad that I got a chance to do it. But I wanted sort of like Mid-Lake or like Fleet Foxes kind of folky kind
it's
of
like
layered
medieval.
melodies.
Oh man, it's so hard to
got a bit of loot in there.
Who's playing bass? Was that just
no? That's just me synth keying in for a bass sound. Yeah.
And was there a guitar kind of?
There's like a harpsichord, and then there's also like a little bit of a what do I end up choosing?
Strum?
There's like a lute, yeah, like a guitar lute, yeah. Or I think it's like a harp sound or something like that. But yeah,
man, it's so good. Also, this sounds like a concept that you might want to pitch to A24 because doesn't it just seem like a concept that they just do a weird kind of dark movie about?
Yeah, just the guys who live in the woods. Yeah.
I mean, I love everything. I love everything about it. I really, really do.
Oh, thank you. That's so very kind. I'm glad that we got there. I'm glad that we get to kick off this new album with 2 great tracks. How exciting! Volume 2 off to a huge, exciting start.
Polar opposites as well.
But that's good. That's what I like.
That's good.
I was nervous. I was like, oh, what if he goes like super vocal? What if it's like super lyrical and harmonies and these kind of things? But you just got to take the chance, right?
I feel really bad about, the arrogant kind of shtick that I was doing earlier, asking if you wanted some help. I feel really bad about that now.
That's okay. No, I appreciate it. It's funny. I know that if I had really needed it, you would have helped. So it was more fun as like motivating the effort to get it done. That was really like I had to really go back to the high school singing choir precision to like remember when to breathe. Like my lyrics are all like noted up with where to take breaths in, otherwise I couldn't get through all the lines. And like lyrically I'm really, really proud of this actually, so I'll send you through and you can have a read along as you listen.
Are you gonna do that now?
I can send it to you right now.
I would like to sit out the front and I'd like to sit out the front and listen to it with the lyrics, please.
Absolutely.
Well done, man. Very nice.
Big congrats all around. And to everyone listening, thank you so much for participating in, again, another exciting Christmas pod. We wish you the best for your holiday season, whether you're traveling, whether you're staying home, seeing friends, doing your own thing. Many best deep thought wishes heading your way. And if you want some deep thought Christmas swag, pay attention on socials and you can get a mug.
And we'll put the songs up on Spotify. When am I scheduling them for?
The 20th. So it's actually up today. When this episode goes live, it should be live on Spotify as well. So you can go listen.
Now, are we recording again before we have a new episode before the new year?
I think we should do one in Adelaide. So we should record. Yeah. We should record and aim to have one out on the 30th or something like that, depending on when you're in town.
All right. We'll talk about that off. But all right. Well, yeah. Merry Christmas, everyone. And to all a good night.
Okay. Well, thank you all. Be well. We'll see you in New Year's Eve.
Don't drink too much. PSA.